Greetings, Principles of Marketing people. Dr. Williams back for the week 4 Packback update. You'll see, like I did last week, I have a section 010, top 5 right here. I dropped off the honorable mention. I'm kind of fine-tuning it as I go. The top 5 from the first section: Peyton, Diana, Kelsey, Dylan, and Carlos. Well done. And then the top 5 from the second section, or section 30, letter O: Melanie, Hunter, Rosie, Desiree, and Stephanie. Rosie, I really wish you would email me and tell me how to pronounce your last name. It looks like salacious, but I'm not going to say that because that's probably not right. So, what I like to do, or what I started doing last week, what I'm going to do again this week, is we got the top 5 and the honorable mention for both sections together, right? And we'll see. I just thought it'd be interesting to see if one section does better than the other section, or scores higher in any given week. This was August 31st through September 6th, as I noted on my little piece of paper. So anyway, we'll start with number 5, Peyton Payne. Major pain. So let's see. Yep, look at there. Peyton was number 1 in the first section, but overall he was number 5. That would lead us to believe we're going to have more people out of the 30 section fill this if this top score was number 5, right? So 4, Desiree Famber. And Desiree is in the 30 letter O section. So that's our 5 and our 4. Now, starting with number 3, the bronze position, Rosie. And I'm going to say her last name is Salaices, because she won't tell me how to pronounce it. Help a brother out. Come on. You can text it to me if you need to. I just want to say it right. I don't mispronounce people's names on purpose. Rosie had a great post about, she didn't use this phrase, but about data brokers. So she had, I'm going to write data brokers on here, about the information that we leave all around in stores and especially online. And social media marketing, we call that digital exhaust. All those little pieces that you leave around the internet as you search, shop, buy, use your card, fill out surveys, all those things provide information. Marketers buy them, and then they target you with things. She's wondering, is that good or is that bad? Well, marketers will say, that way we can show you only things that you've expressed interest in, which is what Hunter said in response. She's talking about getting a new hobby. I believe it's changing from golf to bowling balls. Or, excuse me, from golf to bowling. And would you rather see ads for bowling balls versus golf clubs if you had changed from golf to bowling as a hobby? I'll give you an example. I searched for an air purifier a couple of weeks ago just to look at some, compare to my last 4 or 5 times on Instagram. Every third entry is a ad for a molecule air purifier. So there you have it. Unless you use DuckDuckGo, which I did not, because I was looking for it at Home Depot where I had a coupon. Hey, and ended up buying one. But anyway, so that was great, Rosie. That was very interesting. And if you ever want to look at 60 Minutes, you can Google 60 Minutes data brokers, and it'll scare the bejesus out of you. All right? You watch that little 10-minute piece. Hunter Collins came in at number 2 in the silver position. And he was talking about, he didn't use this phraseology, but I'm going to, a new to the world product. Now, he makes the point that Tesla, he uses Tesla as an example. They weren't the first electric car, but they were very early on, and one that, of course, early on a couple did catch on fire and all that. But it was, I think we could categorize it as a new to the world product. And I want to say this, one thing that stops people from purchasing things is risk, right? People want to reduce, the more you reduce their risk, the more likely they are to purchase. I looked for an electric car about 5 years ago. And I'm not going to say what brand, but it was a major brand. You would all know it. And I drove one. I said, okay, it was all right. But I said, well, how long does the battery last? And the guy said, we don't know exactly. I said, okay. I said, so, but is there a warranty on it? He said, well, not exactly. I have a short warranty on, for like a year or something, whatever. I said, well, how much do they cost? So when they do go bad, how much to replace the batteries? He said, well, we haven't priced that out yet. I said, well, that's why you're leasing a bunch of these and you're not selling many. And he essentially said, yeah, but we'd really like to sell one. I said, well, I'm not your Huckleberry. So, I wasn't going to buy a car where I didn't know what kind of warranty was on the battery, and when they died, what if it cost me $5,000 to replace them. So anyway, a good example, that was a good one with the Tesla example. And number one, Melanie Bagley. Let me update my sheet over here. Desiree Famber, I've got Rosie, Hunter Collins. So as we thought, there are more of our compiled top 5 in the second section than in the first section, right? So Melanie Bagley, she's talking about consistency, and she's talking about fast food, or some chain restaurants. She uses an example, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A, that type of thing. Of course, when I like to roam around and eat. I love to eat. I like to roam around and eat. But sometimes I just don't feel like taking a chance on something, So one of my favorite chain restaurants that I'll go to even in a strange city, whereas most of the time in a different city, I'd rather eat at some place there that I can't eat at home. So I'd rarely eat at chain restaurants when I'm in another city. But sometimes, if I want a good steak and a cold beverage, Longhorn Steakhouse, to me, they're good everywhere. I'm not saying it's the best, but they're solidly good everywhere. She mentioned at Chick-fil-A, that no matter where you go, they'll say, I'll have a chicken biscuit and a Diet Coke or whatever. And they'll say, okay. They'll say, my pleasure. That is being consistent. But it also sounds like Children of the Corn. Now, you're all too young for that movie? Go look it up. Just saying. Creeps me out a little bit. Hudson, I'm gonna note him in here. He had a reply, and he was talking about trust. And he also talked about, he didn't use these words, but he was talking about a service failure. He was using a whole bunch of marketing lingo without using it. He was talking about trust in the brand. Well, there's a demonstrated link between trust and consumer commitment to the firm. In the sports marketing class, I assigned a reading for that. It's going to be on our first exam. Some questions from it. But trust and commitment, there's a linkage between trust and customer trusts the brand, or the firm, then they have that. He also talked about a service failure. That if you have a poor service experience, and he used Chick-fil-A as an example too, he feels like the service recovery is more than ample to handle the service failure. How many people are going to have a service failure? Well, lots. The key is, how do you recover? And if the consumer thinks that's a fair recovery. If your steak is rotten when they bring it to you, and their recovery is, well, I'm going to bring you some more butter. Well, most people aren't going to consider that an equal service recovery. But here's the odd part: if you have a service failure, you experience one as a consumer, and you feel like the recovery was really, really good, you could be a more loyal customer to that company than somebody who had never had a failure. It's called the service recovery paradox. Anyway, all right, so that's our top 5. Oh, our honorable mention. It was very tight. Stephanie Lucillo. If I mispronounce that, it's with my head, not with my heart. I'm just taking a stab at it. Usually it's a lot more fun being face to face, I guarantee you that. But anyway, so that was our top 5 overall for this week, and you'll all obviously get great scores. And the board was really great this week, and I enjoyed it. You're getting better and better, and it's super, and you're smart. And don't let anybody tell you any different. If you do, send them to me. I'll punch them. The exam coming up next week. I think it opens up on Tuesday and closes on Thursday, but it's in the course calendar, so you can see that. And I will be posting some more information about that. I apologize for my computer going off in the background. My fantasy football draft, which is the money league I'm in, starts in 2 minutes. So I have 2 computers on, and their guys are messaging, they're beeping at me, so I apologize. It's 9 o'clock at night, and it's just what happens. So anyway, that's our Packback update for week 4, and I will see you back here, if not somewhere else. Peace.